much we're going to be seeing them do a lot of dive offense here. So May probably isn't the best choice to lose for first point.
Sure. I mean, by the way, that tournament was fantastic. The casters were literally in a bathroom with a blow-up crocodile behind them. Like, can you imagine a better casting gig than that one? Old Spice, mate, bring your magic over to North America and Europe. That'd be fantastic. But let's get into this one, guys. On the defense here so far, 76 and Tracer. So reasonably, we should probably be expected to see a bit of a 2-2-2 Vonethil even on the Torbjorn here. So single tank, obviously Torbjorn with the double supports, guys. Initial thoughts?
I mean, usually you see the Torb as the replacement of the Lucio, and you have single support Torb. So I think this is another alteration of the different things that you could do, especially on Hanamura, by keeping double support and running the Torb on top of it. You could either run the Torb or the Symmetra, which is kind of a a similar way. But I guess they are going to be right. Yeah, it was Stoop on Lucio. I didn't even notice that. So yeah, you are going to have single support and Vonethil on Torb, which is one of the main alterations here. I think for BGH, Wico is their star player. He is the best player in Brazil. He is their star. He is going to have to be the one to try to carry this team to victory.
The interesting thing to me is that they're not running a diva. Generally, if you're going to run a 76 on defense, on this first point especially, they're going to be posted up on one of the buildings, and a diva's just there hanging out with them. So it's going to be interesting that Cool Matt is on the Winston instead, but perhaps it is to deal with a very aggressive dive. But we do have a combo on the offense.
Yeah, we do. We got a little bit to work with, of course. The Mercy, the Pharah as well is going to be there. The Tracer in the mix now. Turret already taken down, and Buds has been felled by Liko so early on into this push. Vonethil on his own back actually gets killed on towards Neil. That was with the rivet gun, as it were. And Custer and Stoop get one apiece here for Fnatic. It seems to be enough to hold back for now. Muriz is forced to touchdown for a moment. Takes a fair bit of damage for that one here, but still picks up Custer. He's staying alive, but he's lost his Mercy.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage there, but not able to completely clean up the team as Mira's taking so much damage right now. His buddy comes in and takes out that other Winston, but Alamon died to Buds during that time. They have to reset here. Liko is still lurking on this right side, looking for a little bit of poke, but losing him right now would be terrible. He does get some respawning supports back here, has to be careful.
Yeah, well, it might actually be Fnatic that has to be a little bit careful as well, but Custer and Vonethil do find safe passage back to the point, but Muriz is already here. Going to be raining down a few rockets, and Liko gets a swift strike kill on towards Custer. Stoops on his own, he's taken down. Afakul just trying to get some shots in out towards the side, finds the Mercy at the very least here, but it's all red on that kill feed thus far. Barnes trying to bring it back a little bit more, but he may as well be outnumbered. He may be outgunned, and he may be done for this one. 4 Brazilian players on the point to take the first.
Liko with dash resets for days. All 3 of his kills came off of that swift strike ability, able to go in there. They are going to have res and barrage for this next point, so you can get very aggressive, try to sack, and then use the res to bring people back alive. I imagine this composition will be switching if this first push doesn't work for them.
Well, Barrage is available as well, so a lot of shock and awe ultimates, I guess you could say, available for BGH at the moment. Buds does have that attack visor, so Muriz is going to have to be very, very careful about how he wants to play this one. Muriz falls early onto Vonethil, in fact, and KRK, that's the res you were looking for. That's the aggressive play backed up with the res, but the Earthshatter comes in, catches a couple, and it catches enough now, with Buds just going to be running around the attack visor, doing its job.
A lot of ultimates used in their resurrection, of course, notably that is going to spell the end of Karuki's time on Mercy. He's going to switch over to Ana instead. Mira is also done with the Pharah, despite having Barrage, going to give up 100% of that ultimate to switch over to 76. Like I said, wholesale changes coming across the board. Mira is now on to Zarya, where they put a 76 for Dudu. Now it's going to be a little bit of a more slow push, I think. That's why you add the Reinhardt into this mix. That's why Neil's there, but you might see in the push top right classic clash.
Yeah, and this could be quite messy. It really depends. Is there going to be a nice charge in there? Is there going to be a pulse bomb thrown in the back? We've seen these kind of stalemates broken apart in quite interesting circumstances. That's the charge coming in. Pulse bomb dropped here. Stoop forced to back away. He's got a bite grenade on him. The Dragon Blade comes through, and Buds has troops gone very, very quickly. And even the Nano Boost going over towards Cool Matt on this Winston. He lands well on top of Liko. It's a pancake. Genji, he's done.
They got nothing out of that blade. 76 was able to dash away. They're trying to equalize it now, but you really need a more decisive fight than this. That helps a lot as Muriz and Alamon grab a couple of kills. They're getting some time onto this point. Still some contention coming out. It's got to be all red in the kill feed if they want a chance. That Primal Rage is looking to stop that.
Bud's getting taken down, one of the last bastions up on the high ground, trying to make things happen for Fnatic here. Vonethil's on the point, staying alive, and Stoop's just about to come back in, but Baruz is pretty charged up. They need to respect the particle cannon coming through here. Attack visor being brought out here. You can see desperately Havakor trying to reflect it off Dudu. And the sound barrier coming out for Fnatic.
Sound barrier is very helpful, but not enough to keep Hafi as alive, as he didn't get any heals during that sound barrier, so once it dissipated, he was able to get cleaned up quite easily. All the kills coming very quick now for BGH. Another stall in from Cool Matt's coming, but it's desperation time. You gotta start seeing some Fnatic in the kill feed if they have a chance at this.
Yep. Oh, Shadow! Stupid half could walk straight into that one, immediately taken down. Caster desperately jumps on towards the point, he throws the Vada grenade, but no one's really there to follow up on the damage, and that one should be captured soon. It's Buds, the last hope, the last bastion, ejected from his mech and ejected from the map quite quickly. And Cool Matt has to jump away from the point here. Half-a-Cool able to jump in, and Fnatic are managing to put together a little bit of a stall here. Stoop comes in with a nano boost and the Earth Shatter.
Earthshatter does go down. They're still not getting any kills, though. A beautiful bubble on the Zarya kept her alive through a charge from Stoop. They're still getting back here onto the back line as Liko getting into Custa's face. These tanks are still coming out. This stall is going on so long, but there hasn't been a kill for Fnatic in over a minute.
No, they're really struggling, and they're really just running in. They're feeding off percentage as well. As time goes on, it's going to be BGH with everything they need. And 3 minutes and 15 seconds is what remains on the clock. It's a capture on second for Brazil Gaming House. And some blistering pace and aggression. Slasher, I mean, looked like that Fnatic really struggled to actually sort of, I guess, bend with that attack and spring back into it. They were struggling.
I mean, this is the same type of struggling that they've had all throughout OGN and including on the 2 CP maps. I mean, BGH likes to run dive, and if that is going into second point, they ran 2-2-2 for the rest of it. Fnatic had opportunities to kill 1 or 2 people at the second point to try to regain the point, but they were not able to get any kills at the very end. So BGH making sure they stay alive, they use their ults in the right way. And, you know, Fnatic had an opportunity. BGH won one of those first 2 team fights to take point A and an opportunity to kind of snowball and win the second point, but Fnatic held at least those first 2 pushes. And usually when that happens on Hanamura, there's a very good chance for the defense to hold for the rest of the map. But BGH, you know, was calm. They regrouped themselves and they use the ults in the right way. Fnatic just not able to get the kills. I also have to kind of question Fnatic's positioning there, letting BGH get on the point, giving them opportunities to take the point for free.
You gotta be careful when you put all your eggs on the higher ground basket, as a lot of teams do when you're expecting this high ground push, and then you have attacking players already on the point. It forces you to jump down. It forces you to maybe break formation briefly to try and prevent them from getting free ticks. Here's the defensive lineup, though, for Brazil Gaming House. They, as well, are going to be bringing Alamon on that Torbjorn. Do you really think it worked out for Fnatic, though, Hex?
Not necessarily. I really want to see what Buds can get done with this Widow. It's something that's worked really well for first point. I expect them to eventually get first point, but I think we need to just emphasize how hard this map is to finish out. It's one of the more difficult maps, even for Assault standards, to finish out that second point. Defenders with a huge advantage there, so BGH putting themselves in a great position to tie up this series. Bud's looking early on for these picks. His Widow play is going to look to open the door. Custa on his favorite hero, I think, Zenyatta.
Yeah, I'm loving this. A bit of a quasi-dive here. It's going to be the Winston and the Genji going straight in. But Custom needs to stay alive. He's pressured by Mirrors. It's a trade. He's desutured and taken down. But Fnatic, Bud's managed to get rid of the mech. And now you see desperation coming out from BGH to get back on towards the point. But Cool Matt's on the high ground. It's a hook towards Dudu. He catches him with all the bait in the world. And now back on towards the point. BGH down to, 3 players. And Neil charges in a very strange direction away from the fight. They're trying to regroup. And Vodathil gets the double boot. Gets him off the edge. And that's Fnatic with a decisive first push.
Buds isn't going to show up in the kill feed a lot there, but we were watching his perspective, and he was hitting headshot after headshot, doing so much entry damage. That's why you saw the Roadhog able to be taken out by his counterpart, because he'd already eaten a headshot right in there, so he's really having an impact on this game. Nearly going to have his infrared sights. Defense is holding up, already in top right. Everyone up there for the most part.
6 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. Bud's close to having that, obviously the recon visor, which will be handy, I guess, at least for information, if nothing else. And we'll see if he wants to use that one immediately or not. Now, the fight's going to start, though. Neil a bit caught out. He's knocked off the edge. Liko falls to Buds. A perfect pick coming out from that hit scan player on Fnatic, and now they need to follow up on it. He gets on towards Karuki as well. Alamon falls. This is a disaster for BGH.
Really great play from Buzz. That's all there is to it. He's trying to figure out the soldier does by Dudu. Oh, another shot onto Liko. What is going on? Buds is a murderer.
Oh, Liko's getting dumped. He can't even get back on towards the point. Buds is hitting every one of these shots. Alamon took a shot from the Widow before he even got onto the point. It was taken down so damn quickly. Liko forced to reflect as soon as he gets out of spawn, but it's not much longer. Vodathil gets 2. And Fnatic, that is blisteringly fast themselves. We can't talk up BGH's push without noting that Fnatic did it in half the time. 6 minutes remaining on the clock here. You got to be feeling good about that one heading into overtime, Slasher.
I mean, that's one of the biggest problems when you're playing defense against that type of comp. If the offensive comp with Widow is able to take the very first point, not only does offense have the ult advantage, and it becomes very difficult, as you saw, for the defensive team to hold the second point. But if Widow is able to post herself up on the high ground in the mid portion of the map, she can control the spawn point on both the right and the left side. Bugs is able to do that, making sure that no respawns are able to come out from the defense. And BGH kind of having the same problems as they did on Hollywood for the first defense. They were not able to get Alamau onto the Torb ult fast enough. That forces him to switch on to Lucio for the second point. He has no way or ability to get ult at that time. I would almost like them to see them stay on Torb and to just make sure they win that second fight, because one of the biggest problems on 2CP is if you lose first team fight on defense, there's a big possibility you're going to lose second team fight and the second point, and then that is what happened to them. And now with such a huge disadvantage on the time, luckily for them, they still won their attack with at least 3 minutes to go, so they still have a pretty solid chance of bringing this back.
Yeah, you don't feel terrible about this, I think, if you're BGH. It's just that Fnatic have a large margin of error to work with, that's all. But we have to see how that's exploited now. It's going to be the Brazilian squad on the attack. They've got the Genji, they've got the Tracer here. Let's see what they can do to Fnatic to shake them off first.
Well, this is what I thought we were going to see earlier, was Hafi was on the defensive Tracer. He's in the backline already, just hiding, so he's going to get on these supports very early on. Already Karuki's got to deal with them, does not, as Hafi already deletes the backline. Already missing a couple supports, 4v4 as we continue this fight.
Liko getting 2 kills to start things off. He managed to get rid of Stoop, but he might be in trouble. Yep, the Tesla cannon going to make his life very hard, and Hafakul with a couple of headshots to send him packing on his home ground. Now Neil on the point, essentially on his own here. He won't be alive for much longer at all, and Fnatic are more than happy to prolong the inevitable in that case, as BGH have to wait a couple more seconds to have their Reinhardt back in the lineup.
They do have to wait outside here. Right now, though, at least they've evicted Hafi from being in their back line unless he tries to get something really cheeky around here. So the next push will be very likely with Karuki alive with them. Losing an Ana that early in a fight is just brutal, and not even as quickly as they lost her. She was already trying to deal with, but Liko comes in, Dudu takes down Vonathil as well, so that's a support down for Fnatic.
Earthshatter coming in there as well from Neil, and he managed to get the charge on the wall against Buds. Have to call out towards the front of the temple, staying scarce for the moment here, but he's lost a heck of a lot of his teammates. It's Stoop and Coolmat valiantly trying to stay in this one, but it's a nice pulse bomb. Dudu sticks it right to his noggin, and Coolmat only able to get the 1 kill before he goes down. It's the DPS players from BGH getting all of it done. Liko to find Stoop at the end there, and with about 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining, we're on to the second point here in Hanamura overtime. It's BGH that need to get some more damage done.
Well, because it wasn't a first push take, it's going to be Fnatic with the ultimate advantage, actually. Stoop, Cool, Mad Buds, Hafi, Cool, you count them up, they all have it. Support ults are not going to be there, as Custa's only going to be at 12% here for this defense, but they're waiting for the offense to come in out crossed up. Pulse Bomb could be coming in.
That's really nice of Stoop there. He forced Coolmat down on towards a point there. He couldn't back up his main tank of Stoop, who eventually had to drop down himself. Happy and Vonathil have already fallen, and BGH can slow roll this a little bit. They've got positioning, now they're going to come forward. Earthshatter coming in, doesn't really catch as much as it should have here, and both Winsters have Primal Rage, but the difference is Muriz has that nano boost going. Able to do a lot of work and do a lot of stall in the back as Stoop falls.
Liko has been unstoppable here as he tries to get a little more damage in. This is exactly what you need to try to close out these points. Coolmat has to get off of the point to go try to help. Now he's going to fall right into hammer range. The Sound Barrier comes out to keep everyone for BGH very healthy, but still not getting kills quite as quickly as you want as Stoop gets out here to get some stall going at the very least. Time to kill, very important to try to close out these maps.
Yeah, Bud's got shut down there. He had a nano boost attack fire, so we got 0 kills for it. He was forced to stay in his spawn. But there's Liko falling down a Coolmat. But Neil gets 2 kills. 2 of them now. The Fire Strike doesn't quite connect him to the back, but he's done his job already. He's always going to eat that pulse bomb. It's almost a foregone conclusion by this point. But he got the Earthshatter off. Buds goes down. Half a cool, massive fight. 3 kills already coming out for him. Vonathil going to chime in. And somehow, against the aggression, this manic aggression from the Brazilian team, Fnatic hold on.
Well, Hafi Cool bringing it back for his team right there. That pulse bomb was absolutely crucial. Only 30 seconds left. They did get 1 tick in that push, so the next push will theoretically be a little bit easier, but not a ton to work with. Nano Blade could be their saving grace. Should be having that up for the next fight.
Stoop was at the door to meet Neil as he pushed up on the high ground, but he's going to have to back away soon, surely enough, trying to disrupt as much as he possibly can, but Coolmat didn't jump up onto the high ground, he didn't manage to get there, so he has to look on as Stoop gets charged in. It's going to be a Nano Boost or Dragon Blade from Liko, but a sound barrier comes up from Fnatic to try and keep themselves alive against the onslaught of the Ninja, and so far, it's worked out well. Neil falls to Buds, primal range for Muri's in the backline, but Fnatic have the boots on the ground and the boots on the point. It's an sound barrier, coming out for the Brazilian squad now as the fight continues.
Well, it's the second sound barrier they've gotten trying to take last. Now Liko going off, trying to keep his team in this. Only 2 down for Fnatic, though, where 2 have already gone down for BGH. That is a couple more kills, very likely spelling the end to this push. No capture imminent.
Buds just took a jump backwards off the stage, off the raised platform. He hooked Neil down with him. So even if Neil kills Buds there, he can't get back up to high ground to keep that overtime going. That's gotta hurt. But that's pretty impressive stuff from Fnatic. They really did weather the storm. Hex, you pointed out they had their ult advantage coming into the first fight on that second point. Slasher, what did you see there? What was it that really prevented the BGH boys from finishing second?
I mean, Fnatic should feel pretty lucky that BGH didn't finish that with a minute or 2 to go. They had an ult advantage, as Hex mentioned, going into that first team fight on the second point, and they lose 2 players to start off the fight. And then Brazil Gaming House was able to get 1 tick, and then almost half of the second tick. And then finally, Happy Cool was able to get a double kill. I believe Coolmat was able to take down Liko with very small health remaining. So I think Fnatic actually got pretty lucky there, because they were able... BGH was able to get the ult advantage on their side. They had a pretty good chance of closing that out with about a minute to go, and Fnatic finally able, to play some good defense. Again, I have to question Fnatic's positioning on the second point. They're kind of split up a lot too much. The 2 players on the top left side high ground are the ones that got picked off, and neither team's first point defense is really working out too well. I do think, though, considering how much better BGH played on their second time around on Hollywood, that they shouldn't change it up for here.
Well, let's see if it's going to be the case. I mean, we're not surprised to see the Widowmaker here from Buds. That was devastating. I mean, Hex, how do you avoid this if you're BGH? How do you avoid getting decimated by these early picks?
I think the Widow needs to be answered by Liko, especially when they were on last with the Widow. He came out and did a deflect, but he never got in Bud's face about it. You can't leave a Widow just all alone to their own devices, never getting pressured. So they either need to send Liko in at it, which I think is their best option, or Muriz. But Muriz is on that Winston. They do jump in right away. Already stifled this push for Fnatic, as Custa is down. They lost a couple, so... Nice response there to get aggressive on their defense and get in, and now they're all just going to sit behind the Reinhardt shield. But if they do put Buds on Widow on the second point, I think it's got to be up to Liko to make him uncomfortable.
Really nice hook coming out there early on in that fight from Dudu. He caught Hafakul, and then Liko jumped in once he knew the opposition Genji was down. But Fnatic have time to work with here. They just don't want to squander it away. That's the main thing. Bud's not really getting those picks yet. Nothing has really shown itself to him at this stage. And Alamon up very, very high. I have to wonder what he's going to do. Liko goes in, but he's got a Discord Orb. Has to think about this. Hafakul, it's a double pulse bomb kill coming out from him. That might just crack this one straight on open, and it does. Buds now is able to roam free and get the kills done. Perhaps some over-aggression, some over-extension from BGH has cost him this first point.
Well, the team kill horn, or in this case, the team kill Vuvuzela, is out as all of BGH goes down there. They are gonna have some ultimates here on defense at the very least, so not a completely lost cause, but a full team wipe there. Bud's about to have infrared sight, and we saw what that did for him last time on this push into last. It's popping, seeing through walls.
Yep, top right is going to be the go here at this stage from Fnatic. They're pretty much all grouped up together. The ultimates, though, are in the favour of BGH. They've got that Earth Shatter, and the Nano Boost is with them. But they know where BGH is set up. They use the Recon Visor early on, and Hafakul wants to go into the back while Stoop goes into the front. They're looking for the supports. The squishy targets in the back, but Dudu catches Happy before he can do much damage. Neil did fall to Bud, but this may not be enough yet for Fnatic to finish the fight. Great sleep dart on towards Muriz, and Coolmat is able to finish him off, and he's going to challenge his point with a hook on towards Dudu.
Well, Coolmat does get a couple. Liko trying to bring it back. It is finally into Buds' face. He does get a couple more slashes. That is 3 kills on the defense there. Fnatic needs to reset here. Buds, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, Buds does switch off. He's on to the Zarya now. They're done with Widowmaker, but still 4 minutes left to be able to take last point. Enough to bank up some ultimates and really make one good push.
Yeah, huge amount of time left, to be honest. Even if Fnatic have a very long, drawn-out fight, or even if they lose this next fight, it's fine. They can try and generate some ultimate percentages for them, poke back and forth a little bit if they can, and then start off a big fight. Now, I think Stoop has spotted Muri's off towards the side here. He was hoping to hit the back line, just as Stoop did the same, but here we go. Nano Boost being used in that fight. Stoop did get grenaded, but he's still going forward. Dudu, again, intercepts Happy. He deals with the Tracer trying to get into the back line. He peels and supports his supports, and now they have that healing available later on into the fight, whereas Fnatic just have to get out again.
They have to get out again, but they still have a pretty decent ultimate bank to work with. I think they might want to just keep pushing and prodding, keep Buds alive. A Graviton into a Pulse Bomb here is just a fight-winning ultimate combination, but they get slept there. Got to be a little bit careful. There's only 3 of them up here. If BGH decided to get aggressive, which they are somewhat known for in their defense, they'd be in a little bit of trouble. Now they get everyone up. Hafi's going to get some pressure in low, gets spotted out, has to be careful on his Tracer. He wants to pull them off the top.
Yeah, Happy really needs to get a successful dive into the back line now. It needs to happen. Pulse Bomb doesn't quite connect. He drops it short. He might still have that Ana for breakfast, but that's a big Earth Shatter. Still, Fnatic mostly able to back away from that one. They lack Stoop's shield, so they have to take this damage face on, and it doesn't look pretty at all for Fnatic.
No, this is over. This push is over. It's just a matter of if they end up cleaning up these last couple of kills or in what manner they decide to do so. Cool Matt goes down late. Custa goes down as well. They need to go back to the drawing board. The problem is they ended up using a couple of bit of ults there. The Whip Pulse Bomb, not the greatest. If that connects, that's 2 down. It's already in the back line. So now they're going to switch over. Matt goes on to a Diva. Hafi now onto the 76. This is much more of a slow push composition, trying to take this high ground, let Hafi get some free shots in.
The setup here for BGH is really interesting. They've got Alamar there for the boop on the Reinhardt, and KRK or Karuki is there for that grenade. So that's pretty nasty. You don't want to go up on that high ground at all, I don't think. Coolmat's made some progress though. He's looking to shut down Liko, and so far he's prevented him from having an impact on the fight. But here's the push, here's the charge. Stoop doesn't connect it, but Liko is fallen to Hafi already.
Hafi is the one who gets the credit there, but it was Matt who got in his face. Dudu and Alamo will get this sound barrier going on them, and they're going to turn it around, getting more kills. Hafi is the only one in the kill feed for Fnatic. He's only gotten a couple, and now this is all over yet again. It's just cool, Matt. He's desuited on the Diva. They could leave her there, they could stagger it, they could do whatever. And what was once a mighty time bank of over 4 minutes is now under 2. Some ultimates to work with. They're going to be pushing into full ultimates. What we really need to see here is Buds hit a very nice Graviton. That could win them this map.
Yeah, they've got a good amount of ultimates to work with here. No Pulse Bomb in with Buds, of course. That would have been nice with a bit of a shock and awe, but no. They've got a lot to work with, there's no doubt about it, but they're slim on time, and they need to win more than one fight here, so they need to be fairly clever with how they use those ultimates in general. Coolmat's on the point. He's pressuring. He's going to force Muris to come down towards him, and now comes the push here. It's going to be Hathakula gets himself the nano boost here, and Liko tries to do the same, but he's taken down. Coolmat stops the damage coming out from BGH's Soldier 76, and this is looking like a far better fight here for Fnatic.
Visor went down, got a couple. Also, an Earth Shatter happened on the stairs there, too, post-Graviton. This has been all Fnatic. That is a full team kill for the most part. Liko does get out here on the Mei, trying to stall a little bit out. He's got the wall on the point. It buys time for Alamon to get on the point, but Hafi is alone up top as Soldier 76. Might as well be playing a carnival game.
They don't have the chance to really deal with a Soldier 76 up here, except maybe if Karuki can actually take him down, but he's got the biotic field there. There goes Muriz. Good work. Knocks a 76 off the high ground, but Dudu's already fallen to Buds. It's Buds and Stoop on the point. Coolmat is protecting Happy even still. Self-destruct though is going to come in here. Doesn't claim any kills at all. The sound barrier was there for Fnatic, and they're going to continue pushing this fight.
Well, it did make them not fight while the sound barrier was active. They would have liked to be fighting during that time rather than being behind shields and behind walls. Buds is going to grab a couple more kills. Bonatho getting into the act now. It has been all Fnatic. Dudu could bring this back with maybe a Pulse Bomb. No! Dies before he gets it off.
Nicely done by Buds. He saves that Graviton Surging tool, which really needed, and that was a nice combo. Again, Liko tries to stall out. Again, he fails. Now the Earth Shatter comes in, but Buds is the only one on the point. We're into overtime here, but it looks like Fnatic are very close. They haven't got it yet, though. Biotic Grenade catches out Vonethil here. Stoop gets 2. Earth Shatter comes in. Stoop and Buds are on the ground, but Hafikul has tac visor from the high ground. That's important. Buds is also nano boosted, and that's going to be it. Fnatic get it in the last seconds. It was overtime. They had to pull out all the stops, but so far, so good for them. The series is done. It's 2-0. No tiebreaker needed, Hex.
It's such a difficult time to be able to deal with the Soldier 76 on that high ground. Knocking him down is only half.